Hi everybody, M2 here, and I'm going to show you some classes of cars I've got, and I'm going to give a little bit, this will be a two-part video.
Driver 1, first position. Driver
little
2,
bit
second position.
about
Driver
the classes that I run
third
on
position.
these.
Driver 5,
New
fourth
class that I'm
position.
going to have, since I
Driver
got
6,
two new cars,
fifth position.
is going to be Maserati Trofeos. Now, I had that class done once before, but it's with Scale Extra. These are Slot.it cars. So I have three of them because we usually race three guys. And I had this one, which is changed for an angle winder for my GT3, GT4 class. So that's the one that I had, and that's been developed. The new ones that I have are the Shell. I believe this one is a GT4, if I remember correctly. It is rather than an angle winder, it is a sidewinder. I'm not partial to sidewinders on my track. For some reason, they don't seem to go quite as well as the angle winders. This one has had tires put on, trued. The chip is in and the magnets are out. The magnets are out on all of these cars. And the front wheels have also been trued, oiled up a little bit, and broken in somewhat. So that's one that's probably we're gonna race tomorrow, I believe. And then this one is straight out of the box. It's got the original tires on. They haven't been trued, nothing done to it at all. Pod is not even loose, except the only exception to not having done anything is to remove the magnet and put a chip in it so I can run it digitally. You can see that the little hole right there has got the digital chip, infrared.
Driver 1, first
LED
position. Driver 2,
shining through.
second position. Driver 3, third position. Driver
So what I'm
5,
going to do is I'm going to do 10
position.
laps with each of
Driver
these,
6,
and then you can
fifth
see the
position.
difference that it makes for tuning a little bit and truing and that kind of stuff. The amount of work that's been done in this is minimal. There's no suspension in this one or anything else that's been done. The pod is, the section of the pod is loose a little bit for better traction. And this one has been completely converted to an angle winder from a sidewinder. There's suspension in it, and it's been adjusted. Tires are slotted on both of these. Both the red and white one and this pure white one are Slot.it 1172 G25 compound. The compound on the original Slot.it, and it still has the plastic wheels on it, it comes with aluminum wheels, which I put on the red and white one here. But I believe the compound for these tires is C1. Not positive on that, but it's not. It's the original compound that comes with the car. So I'm going to try and do about 10 laps with each of these, see if I can keep them on the track, and we'll go from there. As you can see, this car is pretty leery, and of course I'm off the track already. I'm going to run them on the inside lane because they seem to be a little bit better on the inside lane. So you usually get a little better after they're warmed up.
Fastest position. Driver 2, second position. Driver 3, third position. Driver 5, fourth position. Driver 6, fastest fifth position. Fastest lap.
Fastest lap doesn't count if it's off the track at the end of the straight. That's how we run our qualifying. You don't get fastest lap if you run off the end of the straight. And generally in our qualifying for the races, we do 5 laps, and the fastest lap out of the 5 is the one that counts. Excluding the flyers, as we call them, which is off the end of the straight. It's usually where it happens. And of course, if you go off the track, that one's going to be a slow lap anyway. So. Almost got 10 laps in. Okay, so best lap I've gotten on that one is 8.930. So next we'll take I'll switch the controller from one, so we're
Driver
eliminating the
1,
controller
first
as
position.
a
Driver 2,
difference.
second position. Driver 3,
Although all
third
3 of these
position.
controllers are the
Driver
same.
5, fourth position. Driver
Okay,
6,
so
fifth
off we go in
position.
the red one. And what did I do wrong? Okay, we're in the right place. Well, I'll double check to see that it's
Track call.
programmed for the second position. Okay, now it is. That was the issue.
The track is clear. Track is clear.
Okay. Here we go.
Fastest lap.
You can see you've already gotten the fastest lap with the red and white one. Much easier to drive.
Fastest lap.
So we're now 4/10 faster with this car than we were with the other one. So you can see the difference that the tuning makes. In the second video that I go through, because I don't want to take all the time to set up while you're on screen,
Driver 2, first
I'm
position.
going to show you what I've
Driver
done
1,
to it to make a
second
difference.
position. Driver 3, third position. Driver 5, fourth position. Driver 6, fifth position.
Okay. So the best we've got there is 8.586 on that one. And now this one is the angle winder. It's a bit of a handful, but it's still pretty quick. Oh, gotta switch. Okay. Now this is a long can angle winder, so it has much more downforce, magnetic downforce, than the other two. The other two will have some downforce, and I can measure it because I have a magnet marshal, but I haven't done that yet, so I don't know what the difference is. if I run this tomorrow, I'm going to have to do some balance of performance changes. Usually that consists of dropping the voltage and changing the fuel loads for the races and changing the fuel tank size.
Driver 3.
You can see we're down in the sevens already
Driver
with this.
2, second position. Driver 1, third position. Driver 5, fourth position. Driver 6, fifth position.
Alright, so the best I've gotten is 7.885. Sorry, just having a little fun. Okay, you forgive me, I'm going to close you up and move. So you can see my group of cars. These are all different classes of cars. So from my left here, the Scalextric Formula Ones, this one, is a front motored car. And that runs in the 50s Formula One class, along with the car tricks. Now we have to do balance of performance in order to make them run together. So there's a little bit of leeway on there. Next in that line is the Polycar Classics Formula One. And there's two styles of them. The early style, this one is a BRM P160. And they have the standard Polycar setup with the FF50 motor.
Driver 2,
and the gearbox that's
Driver 5,
so it has better brakes, and they're nice cars to drive. This is the newer. These are 70s cars. This is the newer Polycar. There's only 2 of them out yet so far, so I haven't really got a class. I did do a conversion on another one, so it needs a third car, and I haven't got one yet. That's again got the F50 motor and the gearbox assembly. That's Polycars. Next is late 80s to early 90s Formula Ones. This one in particular is a Scale Auto. Whoops, wrong car. With a it's got the Scale Auto motor in it yet. So this is one of their generic Formula Ones. They come in both a high and low nose version. This is the low nose version. There you go. You can see there. Excuse me, this is the high nose version. The low nose is the other one. And then this is Polycar Modern Formula One. Actually, I've got to put the driver in that one. I haven't remembered that. And that has the standard Polycar setup in it. Interestingly enough, the other ones, the other 2 setups have the opening down, and this one has the closed end down. I hadn't noticed that before. And next, this is a Carrera Formula E. I only have 2 of these, so it only comes out when there's only 2 of us running. It's a FF50 motor. All these have the magnets removed. This has got the original pickup from Carrera, which is got the red guide in it for Scalextric, which is what my track is. So in the next row, we'll start out with early ones again. We've got this is a Ninco 50s sports cars And there's a couple others that I have that are Ninco and Carrera, and they're all pretty comparable. They're and Scalextrics. Those I can run together because they're pretty even in ability. So next we have an NSR 60s P68. You can see that's an angle winder, and it's also got the softer chassis in it. And that's one of mine. Next, Can-Am cars, which I run with Thunder slots and a couple of converted other ones, converted with 3DP chassis. This one is a MR slot car setup. You can see there. And those are Can-Am cars that I generally run. Next, we got the GT1. This one is a GT198. It's a Porsche, and it's a Revo slot. And the Revo slots all run together because they're all set up the same. They have the same aluminum chassis, two-piece chassis slit. And I also have, this would be the GT98 class, 98, 99 era. Also in that same area, a little bit less earlier, rather, is the Ferrari 333 SP. And that one is an MR slot car again. So next class we have is Group C. This is a standard slotted car, inline motor. There's hundreds of them. They're just sort of all over the place. This is the latest one, Nissan R89. That's a really great class. There's lots of great cars in it. Easy to set up and move nicely and work well. Next I have a McLaren F1. This one is a Scalextric, and I have a couple of these that I run together. So you'll notice that I will a lot of times break them down into the manufacturer of the car because they generally run pretty close together. So it's one way to differentiate between the groups. The next group is what we call DPI, Daytona Prototypes. These were run in IMSA in the 2000s. So this is a Scalextric inline, and there's a couple of those, and also Racer Sideways has one that's comparable in speed. These are pretty good cars for Scalextric. I think you'll find that if you have them, it's an acquired taste in that regard, but I like them. I particularly like this livery. It's very stylish in my view.
Driver 3.
Next we have
Driver 2.
the
Second position.
LMPs,
Third position.
and these are much more modern. These are
Fourth position. Driver 6.
2010, I believe. This one's the Race of 1,000 Years. It's a Slot.it LMP. It's a angle winder with the hotter motor in it, and these are quite a handful. We've turned the voltage down a little bit on these to make them work properly. Okay, next row. This one debuted a little while ago. This is a Carrera car. It's the Red Pig. And there's three. I've got three of these. One's silver, one's yellow, and one's red. And these are they're not great cars, but they're fun to drive. I put different tires on them, and in this case a slotted gear because the gear was bad when I got it from the first place. And of course the guide has been changed from the original Carrera to the standard style guide with a 3DP insert. So, next we have the other Maseratis, the Trofeos. This one is an earlier Scalextric, and it's a Sidewinder, as you can see. and it's run with other two cars, one of which looks similar to the cars that I just bought. Next class is Group 5. This is a Ferrari 512 Berliner Boxer. And these are all angle winders with what they call a Baby Raptor motor, I believe. They are really pretty quick cars and really fun to drive. The next is the GT3 cars that I've got.
First position. Driver
This
two,
one is a
second
Carrera.
position.
You can see it's
Driver
an
one,
inline.
third position.
Had some work done to it to make it palatable for me. Carrera cars don't go very well in the first place, so they're not that great. Next GT3 is a Scalextric, and I run the Scalextrics all together. This one is the FAF Porsche, and they are, as you can see, the current style of Scalextric is to have an inline motor on these. And they were pretty nice, not quite as good as the real good ones. Next class are the supercars that I run. This one is a Carrera that's been heavily modified with different motor and different tires and all kinds of stuff done to it. And it competes in the class with the Pagani, which is the same style as the standard Scalextric inline motor. Guide has been changed. You can see the DPI, the door for the chip in there. Okay, next we have some of the sedan style cars. This one is an Opel. It's a Revo slot, and I run those Revo slots, the Alfa, the BMW, the Opel, and I forget what the other one is. At any rate, those are sedans. They all run in the same class together. Next class we have is Trans Am, and well, everybody knows about those and everybody loves them. It's the Mustangs, Camaros, although I being a Ford guy, do not allow Camaros on my track. They are faster overall as a car, but I don't like Camaros especially, so I don't run them. It's just a personal thing. Next we have the Slot.it DTM. These are inline motors, standard Slot.it pod and setup, and they're really fun. I like them a lot. And last but not least is the Scalextric BTCC, British Touring Car Championship. And this one is an inline, a BMW M1. It's a more modern version of it. So, that's the classes I usually run. More to be added as they come in, as I get new cars and stuff. And I have plenty of cars. As you can see over there, I got plenty of choices. All right, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.